What's up? Black men coming together and defending is the key to sovereignty. And Malcolm X. Now, before I get to the video, I do have a school community for us black men to come together, have good conversations. I want to speak to a lot of guys over the phone, get to know guys and other guys to connect within the community for us to really build each other up, and just come in unity and come together and build each other up as men. So if you're interested in that, the link for that will be in the comments of this video, the description of this video, and if you click on my channel, in the bio section, you'll see the link for it right there. So click on that, check that out. Back to the video. Now, when we look at being sovereign over each other, nobody else is over us. We're not in another system, right? This goes back to why we need revolution. This goes back to why we have to come together and not operate within how the government wants us to operate by, voting and X, Y, and Z. Not saying that voting couldn't be effective, but it can only be effective with the mindset of making a revolution, not um, keeping the current state of power in place. If you're gonna go in there, you gotta be in there with the mindset of I'm gonna create a new system. I'm gonna tear down the last one. I'm gonna create a new one. And I think that when we look at Martin Luther King, this kind of just a little Black history, educational type stuff with this video a little bit. When you look at Malcolm X, and then you look at people like Martin Luther King, I think people are way more accepting of Martin Luther King's what he spoke about and what his ideology was as far as speech. I mean, not it's not speech, but it's ideology as far as peace and creating peace, and his approach to coming together or rising up as far as with the black people rising up and not being oppressed and stuff. His solution was more of we just got to be equal to the white man, and we can't do anything violent, right? Which that's very once I was seeing that and I watched videos about that and I was just looking at what his message really was. I was understanding that he had a message that was very easy for the white man to infiltrate it and repackage it so that it couldn't really offer real value to the black community. Now, when you look at Malcolm X, who was saying, the white man is the devil and you have to defend yourself, and black people need to have their own sovereignty and then be in their own state of being, not in a system that was created, that didn't even view them as humans, right? So I'm a person that's not Muslim, but I'm more on the Christian side, right? And I truly resonate with Malcolm X's ideology more, purely because it's one that makes sense and it's one that is real. I think that to be a person and think that we're just not gonna be violent, black people, we just can't be violent. Why wouldn't we be violent for somebody attacking us, for us not defending ourselves? And this is how they want us to be. They want to attack us, and then we have to praise peace and be submissive and pray to God, and that's how they keep us in that submissive behavior. So if somebody hits you, you have to hit them back so they won't hit you again, so you can defend yourself. So in the same way, what Malcolm X was really teaching was that we have to defend ourselves and we have to identify who the enemy is, right? And we have to really understand that, because the person who mentored the person who mentored Malcolm X was Elijah Muhammad, and he's the same one who mentored Louis Farrakhan, and uh yeah, he's the same one who mentored Louis Farrakhan, and that was Elijah Muhammad's message, was that he, the white man was the devil, and the system is not created for us, and we have to create our own system. You don't win by trying to operate in a system that was not created for you. That's not what you do. That's not even logically, that's not a smart thing to do. You know, you don't you don't operate in a system that wasn't meant for you. That means you have to go and create your own system. And that's exactly why we're going to have a revolution one day, and it's going to take it's going to take a lot of black people who are smart, who are competent, and who are ready to fight for their people. It's going to take those type of people for us to really have a real chance at changing how the world and how this country views black people, and black people really rising and really being equal on every level as far as performance and everything. And I think that that's something that's so important, and we just have to understand that as a black community, you have to really look at what really is going to benefit us. We have a Martin Luther King holiday. We have all this type of stuff where we think he's like, not saying that he wasn't a great man and he didn't have good intentions, but I think that there's levels to effectiveness with what ideology and plan you have for black people, right? And a lot of the times it's not just being a speaker, it's more of organizing something where we all come together and we all build together. That's something that I want to build in real life, or at the least, that's something I really want to be a part of. Purely because I know that that is how real change happens, not just by speaking. And it that really lines up with the ideology of Malcolm X, which is to come together, defend each other, know who your enemy is, and protect your sovereignty over your people. Because right now in the United States, we're not, black people, we're at a place where I think that so many of us are brainwashed, so many of us are whitewashed, so many of us are just not thinking at all. And at the end of the day, man, it's really gonna, it takes action, not just talking all day. Me making videos doesn't really do much, right? But me coming together with guys, talking with guys, meeting guys in real life, us organizing things for us to learn and be educated, and for us to help self improve each other and learning black history, that stuff, that's more on line with really doing something about it. And I think that in the long run, that's what it's gonna be, and that's what it's gonna take for us to really rise as people. It's not gonna happen through. It's really not gonna happen through voting. It's not gonna happen through us having a black president. Because we already had that, and it's like you would think if we had a black president, everything would just been clean, and black people we're good now. When in reality, you still have people extremely racist who are in power. You have people on the daily that are racist. And I think that, don't be a person that's naive. Don't think just because nobody ain't being racist to you that doesn't go on, and that's not real, and that's not something that needs to be fixed. Just because it's not happening to you doesn't mean it's not a problem, and it's not a big problem. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Peace out.